Courses.
I don't know about what you are talking about.
Do you teach business?
Good morning.
Morning.
Stop writing, guys. Please stop writing. Stop. So we're going to end chapter 29 today. We've been talking about investment. Like I said before now, when we started investment, investment is always an expenditure on capital goods. We said that already. We have different factors that influence investment. We talked about the interest rate, we talked about the rate of economic growth. Today we need to talk about the others, which are one, availability of credit. When we talk about credit, it means borrowing. So I wrote, some investment is financed through borrowing. The willingness of the financial system to give out loan will have impact on the investment that involves borrowing. However, if banks see firms as a high risk means not credit worthy, they will feel reluctant to give out loans as a result. Investment in capital goods would decline in such economy. So are you here? For credit, that means loans, borrowing. Sometimes we need to borrow for investment. But if banks or financial houses feel that we cannot pay back the loans, then they feel reluctant to give it to us. You get the point I'm making here? So the availability of credit increases investment. So if we have credit, if we are able to get loans from banks, then we'll be able to get the loans and invest in capital goods. But if loans are difficult to get from the bank, then it becomes difficult for us to invest in capital goods. Especially,
yes? The interest rates are higher.
Yeah, the interest rate, it might not even be because we talked about the interest rate already. Here we're talking about the willingness of banks to give out loans, irrespective of interest rate. Interest rate is there. A high interest rate reduces investment. But here we're talking about the willingness of banks, financial system, financial houses to give out loan. So do they feel you're going to pay back or you're not going to pay back? So if they feel you're not going to pay back, then they don't give you a loan. And those investments that need borrowing becomes difficult to execute. Do we get availability of credit here?
Yes.
Credit, execute means to carry on with, to do them. It's a project. A project needs to be enforced. So to execute them, you need to get them done. How are you going to be able to get them done? By having the cash to do it. But if banks are not giving you loans, then it becomes difficult to do. That is availability of credit. Is it clear?
Yes.
The second one, retained profit. What is retained profit? This is the profit held back by the business that is not distributing to the shareholders. That's why we call it retained profit. So what happens with retained profit? I wrote, this is the profit that is kept back by firms and not distributed to shareholders. I think we know who shareholders are, right?
Yes.
Okay. So retained profit helps determine the level of investment based on the fact that if retained profit is high, it becomes an incentive for firms to use it for investment. But a low retained profit discourages investment. So if the profit after tax is high, it means you have enough money to invest on capital goods. But if it's a low one, if the retained profit is low, it is not going to be enough to invest in capital goods. Capital equipment are expensive. So if the retained profit is not enough to buy or to invest on capital goods, then you don't invest in capital goods. So a high retained profit encourages investment in capital goods. A low retained profit discourages investment in capital goods. I think the point is clear. Is it clear, please?
Yes. Yes.
There's a note. Retained profit is derived after corporation tax is being paid. What is corporation tax? These are taxes on profit. So you have to pay your tax on profit before you talk about retained profit. So as soon as your tax is paid on profit, that's your corporation tax, as soon as it is paid, then whatever is left is what you share. Is what you share as dividends to shareholders or what you put back into the business as retained profit. So if corporation tax increases, retained profit will be less, then retained profit will be less. But if corporation tax is cut or is falling, then you can have more profit, which means you can have a high retained profit. Then investment will increase. Do we understand? Yeah. So retained profit is linked to corporation tax because you have to pay your corporation tax before talking about retained profit. I hope it's clear.
Yes.
And the last one is government influence on regulations. So the influence of government and regulations. Government can influence investment in the economy. It can cut corporation tax. One way in which government, you don't try please. One way in which government can influence investment is by cutting taxes. If government cuts in corporation tax, it means the profit we pay on tax will reduce As a result, we have more profit to us, then we can invest. That's the first way. I think you get the point here. A cut in corporation tax increases profit, and as soon as profit increases, investment will increase. A high corporation tax reduces profit, and it reduces investment. You get the point there. Do we get it or not?
Yes.
That's about corporation tax. Another way in which government can influence investment is subsidy. What is subsidy? A financial help from government. So if government wants to increase, or if government wants to encourage investment, government can subsidize for firms that are willing to invest. So subsidy reduces the cost of production for firms. As a result, it encourages them to want to invest more in capital goods. Do we understand subsidy here?
Yes.
Subsidy, if subsidy increases, investment will increase. If subsidy falls, investment might likely fall. Clear, right?
Yeah.
And the last way is guaranteeing loans. When we talk about guaranteeing loans, it falls back to talking about availability of credit. Note, government can stand as a guarantor for firms that are willing to invest through borrowing. Government stands as what? As a guarantor. It means if Mr. H doesn't pay back, or firm H doesn't pay back, government is going to pay back. Do you get the point? We call it guaranteeing loan. That means government is standing for you. Government is standing as a guarantor for you. In case you don't pay back, the banks will get the money from government instead.
But he will the business pay the government back.
Government is standing for you, so the liability is on government. Do you get the point?
Yes, yes.
Government stood for you, so you are going to get the loan from the bank because you need it for investment. But if you don't pay back, by virtue that you don't pay back, government that stood for you will pay. So this encourages bank or financial houses to give out loans. Do we get it?
But how does this benefit the government?
One way in which it benefits government is that it increases employment.
How?
It increases employment. How? If there's investment in capital goods, it means people have money, more money, and they can expand. So expansion brings about employment opportunity. That's the first way. Another way is that it increases output within the economy. If output increases, that means aggregate supply will increase. And if aggregate supply increases in the economy, what happens to price? Price falls. So it's not going to only benefit government, it's going to benefit the economy as a whole. So increase in investment increases output. If output increases, it improves the living standards in the economy. Consumers will be able to buy at affordable prices. Is it clear now?
Yes, yes.
Do you have any other question?
No.
No.
So that ends chapter 29, investments. Thank you.
Okay.
You